If you're new to climbing, you might think you lack the upper body strength to do certain climbs, but it's more likely your technique that's holding you back. By practicing these techniques, you'll develop the strength over time for those harder climbs. Twisting is one of the easiest ways to get more weight onto your feet by twisting your hips closer to the wall. By twisting, you'll also be able to straighten your arms, get yourself in a more balanced position, and even make more room to bring your feet up. When you're thinking about which way to twist, think about which hand you'll be reaching with, and generally you want to twist that hip as close to the wall as you can. In climbing, we're always trying to do the most efficient movements. By twisting your hips in, you'll take half the weight off your hands and bring yourself much closer to that next hold. So we actually flag in everyday life. If you imagine you're trying to reach something at the other end of a long bench, your leg will naturally come up behind you. This is exactly the same when we do it on the wall. So as you progress with your flags, you can be more deliberate about what you do with that foot. Sometimes it'll be flagging out in an empty space, but other times you'll be able to smear your foot on the wall for a bit of extra pressure and stability. To practice flagging, try a climb that's easy for you and see if you can do each move with just one foot on the wall. You'll generally find that you're more balanced if you're holding on with an opposite-handed foot. If the flag doesn't come naturally to you, think about extending your foot in the opposite direction to your hand. If you can't get yourself into a balanced position, you might find yourself in what's called a barn door. So a barn door is when one side of your body loses contact with the wall and you start to swing out. In this situation, you can use a back flag to create a more balanced position and counteract that swing. Back flag is when you flag across your body. They're not as common, but they're super useful when you have limited footholds. Now, when the footholds are less straightforward, we start to use things like heel hooks, toe hooks, and bicycles. Heel hooks are great when the foothold is either above your head or super close to your hands. As you can see, it takes less flexibility to get your heel onto the hold than it would to get your toe on. When you place your heel, aim for the very tip of your shoe, and as soon as you put it on, try and pull in with your hamstrings and glutes to get your hips as close to your heel as you can. This will engage the foot and take some weight off your hands. One disadvantage of a heel hook is a lack of mobility when you get right to the top of a rock over. You may need to change that heel to a toe to continue getting your weight over. Now, toe hooks are almost the opposite to heel hooks. You'll find that they're really useful on holds that are far away or even holds that are above your head. You'll often find them around corners on arêtes and on really steep cave climbing. When you're placing a toe hook, aim for the rubber on the top of your shoe. Just like a heel hook, this needs to be an active position, so make sure you're pulling in with those toes. You'll find it's easier if you have a straighter leg, because that'll help you create tension between your hip and your foot. The key to toe hooking is to make sure you create tension between your hips and your toe. You might find it easier to straighten your leg and lean your hips away from your foot as far as you can. Toe hooking is one technique where your shoes will make quite a difference. Some shoes have a lot of rubber, while others have very minimal. Extra rubber is definitely going to give you an advantage. A bicycle is a way to make your toe hook feel more secure by providing opposing force. You'll find that the top foot can be your driving force, while your toe hook will keep you in and stop you from cutting loose. Now, when the moves get dynamic, we call them dynos. They seem like big, powerful jumps, but it's actually a lot of technique involved as well. And it might seem counterintuitive, but sometimes with dynos, less is more. Especially the coordination ones, precision is key. Right, flagging, oh yeah.